still do. When every second counts, count on ADT. Visit ADT.com/Marlins or call 800-750-0647 today. For license information, visit ADT.com.
Thanks for listening to Miami Marlins Baseball. Marlins Baseball is brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins. And Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. With the 10th Inning Show, here's the voice of the Marlins, Jack McMullen.
The Fish win the series over the San Diego Padres. They get the win on Wednesday afternoon, 3-2, in large part because of a 2-run home run from Jesus Sanchez. With the story today, Sandy. We'll get to that in a moment. 10th Inning Show, Jack McMullen, Jeff Nelson here with you with Ahmed Jordan in studio. Sandy Alcantara, 7 innings, 1 unearned run. He K'd 4, didn't walk anyone. It wasn't your classic sinker changeup that won him a Cy Young in 22, but this version of Sandy seemed excellent today now.
Well, he was able to keep the ball out of the middle of the plate, and that's been his problem during the year. And some of the starts that he struggled, a lot of pitches out of the middle of the plate, maybe overthrowing mechanically. He was a little off, but today he kept the ball down. A few pitches were upstairs, but that was by design. He tried to climb the ladder a few times with that four-seam fastball, but a lot of pitches down. He was able to get and hit both sides. Good changeup down and into righties. He kept the fastball in on righties. I thought he did an excellent job. You know, you might not like the fact that he didn't use the fastball a lot, but he was able to get the breaking ball over, really kept the Padres off balance. But it was, to me, his best start, but he was really smooth over the rubber. It didn't seem, the first couple innings looked like he was trying to guide the off speed, but then he started letting it go and started getting a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more into a rhythm, and looked pretty decent. So he's got to feel good about himself by throwing 7 innings and just giving up that 1 unearned run.
And the Marlins have to feel really good about themselves right now, too. It was a 3-2 win. They won 2 tight games out of 3 against San Diego. You know, obviously it feels good winning a series against Kansas City. Probably feels better winning one against San Diego. What kind of momentum can this give a team like the Marlins going to Milwaukee and the best team in baseball?
Well, they ended the first half on a high note, and they've started the second half on a high note, and that's exactly what you want. You know, coming and looking at their schedule going forward, even before they started the Kansas City series, one of the toughest in baseball. They have a real tough schedule going forward, but you know, you win against Kansas City, is trying to get back into the playoff hunt. You faced a couple really good pitchers. You faced a San Diego team. Dylan Cease is one of the top pitchers in the game. You only get 5 hits today. You got the 2-run homer by Sanchez. The bullpen has been outstanding. The starting staff has been outstanding. I think it's a good momentum going into Milwaukee and St. Louis. Again, 2 clubs, Milwaukee right there with the Cubs for the best record in baseball. St. Louis only a couple games, 2 or 3 games out of the wild card. So again, you're playing playoff teams, but you have to really respect, if you're the other team, respect the Marlins, because they'll play 27 outs. And don't make mistakes, because they capitalize it offensively, and their pitching staff from 1 to 13 have been great.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, 6 through 13 have been phenomenal. In the month of July, a 1.96 bullpen ERA. That is the best mark in Major League Baseball. Jeff Nelson, appreciate your work.
We'll see you in Milwaukee.
We'll see you in Milwaukee on
yes.
TV all year long on radio.
I might stop in and poke my head in every once in a while, maybe.
It's fine. That's fine. When
I'll see you on the bus.
Yeah, perfect. I'll see you on the bus. All right, let's hear from Calvin Fauché, who's standing by with Steven Strom postgame.
Here with Calvin Fauché, first time going more than an inning here today. When did you get that call that you were going to go multiple here tonight?
Clayton came up to me before the game and asked if I'm good to do that, and I said yes. If my name's called, I'll be ready to go.
You grew up a Padres fan. I know you've been up here for a little bit, but is it still sometimes give you goosebumps thinking about closing the game out against a team?
Yeah, maybe more so though, like adrenaline, a little more adrenaline for sure. Because growing up watching them and now playing against them, it's pretty cool.
What did Sandy remind people of today?
He reminded him of himself. That's who he is. He threw the ball great for us today, pounded the zone. I'm excited for him.
How validating has this homestand been, beating both teams, in a series?
Yeah, coming back from a break, I mean, you never know. Teams come in, they try to play their best ball. And we've stayed hot. We were hot before the break, and we kept it going.
Thanks for the time, Calvin.
Thank you.
That was awesome stuff from Calvin Fauché. Really cool. Again, San Diego kid getting a 5-out save against the team he grew up watching. When we come back, a listen to the highlights here. 10th Inning Show continues next on the Marlins Radio Network. And Stowers hits one well out to left center field. Merrill back on the track at the wall. He's looking up and it's gone. That thing just kept on going. Kyle Stowers out to left center field. Fish on the board. They cut the deficit in half. Homer number 22 on the year, and it's 2-1 Padres in the bottom of the fourth.
To a righty's perfect.
First pitch to Augustine, little dribbler, third baseman Machado charges. He's got it on the bare hand. He fires to first, and it's up the right field line. Otto around third. He's getting the windmill home, and he will score. Augustine legs out an infield single. Machado got greedy. He tried to make a top 10 play. It results in Lopez scoring from first. Smarslock, actually, the first base coach earlier today. Stowers golfs one into right center field. That's on a line. That is in for a base hit, and it's going to two-hop the wall. They're going to windmill Augustine home. Relay throw coming home is up the third base line. It's an RBI double as Stowers pushes to third on the throw.
Been caught once.
A one. That one a little swinging bunt. Cabrera's got it. The toss is coming home. A tag from Ramirez, and they get Arise. Arise hit the deck, a head-first dive. He came up kind of gripping his wrist, but that a tremendous play from Edward Cabrera. A one. That one tagged into left center field. Sheets on the move. He's not going to get there, and it one-hops the wall in left center. There's insurance. Hernandez around third. He will score. Sanoha going to third, and he's got an RBI triple. He beat out the relay with a head-first dive. Javi, the spark play.
Apply. See Lowe's.com/delivery for more details.
Hey, this is Nick Fortes, and you're listening to the 10th Inning Show on the Marlins Radio Network.
Well, the Marlins get a win over the San Diego Padres 3-2. The final score today. They win the series, and they win the ball game on Wednesday afternoon. How did this thing sound? Well, scoring got going after a 1-2-3 top of the first from Sandy Alcantara against their starter Dylan Cease right away. Leadoff walk on 4 pitches to Xavier Edwards. Then Jesus Sanchez walked, but then Cease struck out Lopez and Stowers. Augustine Ramirez did make him pay for one of the free passes early. 2-1 from Cease. That one ripped up the middle, and that's down for a base hit. 1 run surely going to score. Sanchez is being held at third, but X comes in from second base, and the Gus Bus drives in another. That's an RBI single. Pitch on the board first. 1-0 at the bottom of the first inning. And then we got to the top of the fourth inning. They did get Sandy Alcantara for the 1 unearned run he allowed. Luis Arise singled his way on. It was a snap throw on a back pick attempt from Nick Fortes to allow Arise to push to second. That just sailed into right field. And then Manny Machado made him pay. 2-2 pitch. That one lined into left field. That is in for a base hit, and that'll play to Rise from second base. He's around third, coming in to score, and Manny Machado, who was silent through the front 2 ball games, ties this game with an RBI knock in front of family and friends. 1-1 in the top of the fourth. But the big blow in this one came from Sanchez. Jesus Sanchez, after a leadoff error from Manny Machado, allowed Javier Sanoja to reach, deposited one into the Padres bullpen. 3-2, Sanoja going again, and Sanchez rips one out to right and deep. Tatis looking up. That is gone. Jesus Sanchez sends a screamer out in a blink. And there's some breathing room for the fish. 2-run shot. Number 9 on the year. 3-1 Marlins, bottom 5. Jesus Sanchez, his 9th home run on the year, and RBIs numbers 32 and 33. Sandy Alcantara then settled in. He allowed a double in the 7th to Machado, but then he got Gavin Sheets to fly out, and Alcantara's day was done thanks to Xander Bogaerts. 3-2 again. That one, a flare into center. It's hanging up for Dane. It was 99 coming in, and Myers makes the grab on the flyout. Sandy Alcantara strands a man at third, and for the first time this year, he's through 7, and it has been a beauty. 7 innings, 1 run, no earned. So Sandy Alcantara, again, the final line on him, 7 innings, 1 unearned run. He K'd 4, did not walk anyone, and Sandy worked around 4 base hits for the Padres. Padres did get a run against Josh Simpson, the left-hander, in the 8th inning, thanks to a pinch hitter, Jose Iglesias.
And play deep.
0-1. That one past the dive of the first baseman, Wagaman into right for a base hit. The pinch hitter, Jose Iglesias, makes it a 1-run game. Merrill trots in from third. It's 3-2 Marlins in the top of the 8th. But then Calvin Fauché came into the ball game, and he got the final 5 outs of this one to seal the deal. Again, if Bogarts gets on base, you would assume we see Kate Gibson for a matchup with Merrill.
Yeah, Merrill's been one of the hotter hitters in this Padre lineup.
1-1, lined into right. That should hang up. Sanchez is there, working in. He makes the catch. Calvin Fauché locks down a 5-out save. And the Marlins take the series against San Diego. Final score on a Wednesday afternoon. Fish win 3-2.
Yeah, real nice homestand. Getting ready to head out on the road against a tough Brewer team. 4-2.
Really tough Brewer team. The best team in baseball record-wise, the Milwaukee Brewers, who just fell 1-0 to the Seattle Mariners last night. That was Logan Gilbert that got the win for Seattle over the young phenom Jacob Mizorowski, who thankfully the Marlins do not have to see. That's how this ball game sounded. When we come back, we'll hear from the skipper, Clayton McCullough. That's coming up, 10th inning show after a Marlins win, 3-2 over the Padres on the Marlins Radio Network.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spirit.
2-1. That one lifted out to left center field. Hill and Myers converging. Derek Hill calling for it. D. Hill's got it. And that is how this ball game ends. Horsepower on the hill. Edward Cabrera for 7, scoreless. Bender with a 1-2-3 8th. And Ronnie Enriquez does the same in the 9th. And for the first time since 2008, your Fighting Fish have won 8 in a row.
Early. So they reacted and said, all right, let's go, breaking balls away.
First pitch, Stowers rips that one up the gut and through that hit the umpire Emil Jimenez. Jesus Sanchez around second. He comes in to score, but Jimenez is saying, hold on. Whoa. Hold on. That hit him on the leg, and that will in all likelihood.
The bench, and they're like, no, we see you as a future starter.
1-1. That one rolled over to short. Could be 2. Lee on to second for 1. On to first. Not in time. The fielder's choice. And that brings in the first run. Xavier Edwards scores from third base. It is an RBI for Otto Lopez. He's right back on that RBI groove. A 6-4 fielder's choice. It's 1-0 Marlins in the bottom of the first.
Right up there. Oh, goodness.
1-2. Otto on the move again, and Augustine smacks the ball out to left center. No doubt about it. Lucky number 13 for Augustine Ramirez. An ambush. 425 feet on the homer, and it's 3-0 Fish right away. This roster, it's the youngest roster in Major League Baseball. A 1 pitch. Sanchez rips that one off the mound. That pinballs into center field. That's in for a base hit. And 10th inning show rolls on. 3-2 win for your Miami Marlins over the San Diego Padres. They take the series and they end the season series at 3 games apiece. Surely a happy skipper. Let's hear from Marlins manager Clayton McCullough after this one.
Yeah. Is this the best you've seen him all season?
Yes, I mean, for sure. Against a really quality opponent. I mean, look, we all know, and it's been talked about a lot with, the struggles this year. But, Sandy, what he's continued to do is the resiliency is shown through his competitiveness. And, I think we enjoy and celebrate today because that was, a terrific outing. I think how he and Nick, worked through that lineup and used both sides of the plate. Thought he had a really good changeup today. He was able to get down below on some right-handed hitters. How he used his breaking stuff, even like the sinker that he elevated on Merrill first strikeout. He got it to a good part of the zone there. So, very happy for Sandy. It's just how he's continued to stick with it, and then to come through today with a a big start for us to hold them down and for us to win a series here at home.
What do you think was the breakthrough for him today? Was it a bunch of little things?
I think it was he was even if there were a few periods or moments where some pitches got scattered. I think he was able to like get back in the zone quick today. I think with 2 strikes today, the ability to either get off the barrel or get some swing and miss. I think that's kind of maybe at times during the year been a bit of a bugaboo. I mean, the ability to get ahead at times and then maybe not finish at bats. So I think how he was able to finish at bats today, and for the most part be in control of the counts, was outstanding.
I just spoke to Sanchi, who was saying how proud he is of Sandy. Just for you, the coaching staff, and his teammates, just what does it mean for them to be able to support Sandy through all this and to see him finally get this outing?
We've seen these guys care about each other a lot. That we've all been extremely supportive of Sandy and understand that, any athlete at this level that goes through a tough period of time, you continue to watch how they go about things day to day. You continue to watch how he approached, every session in between starts, and there was never going to be any quit. It was just, so let's go figure out how to try to turn the page and get this thing moving in a different direction. And I know guys respect that. They appreciate that. This guy doesn't make excuses. So, and we still, the entire season, every time he takes the ball, we, believe that we're going to go win that game. And I know for, staff and teammates, everybody's just very happy for Sandy that, things came together today the way they did.
Was that going to be his last batter in the summer? Xander?
That was potentially going to be his last batter.
Good thing he didn't get to, I guess.
He got Xander out, didn't he?
What the decision with Fauché, was it a matter of, I guess, the usage of the other 2 guys the previous days, and also he hadn't really been used much?
Fauché has been a trusted and will continue to be a trusted member of our bullpen. Quick turnaround. I think, we had with Calvin having a few days down, had the ability today to have Calvin go 1+ if needed, and we'll continue to, a ton of confidence in Calvin. We've thrown this guy in a ton of leverage moments during the season, and, he did an outstanding job, going 1+, which is not something we typically have asked of Calvin, but felt like today would have been if the opportunity got there and where the game was, a chance to do that.
This stretch, you started, I guess, 3 teams leading up to the deadline that have better records than you. Just how did you feel you guys started this first series?
Very, very happy how we came out of the break. I think finishing the break strong in Baltimore, and we were playing well coming out of the break and to win both series here at home. I mean, it is important as we continue to move along. You're trying to win series, and especially at home, it's important to win series. And again, all 3 games here, San Diego can really pitch, be tightly contested. For Sandy to match Cease today, the whole way, and for us to, I think we had a really nice approach against Cease and able to, drove up the pitch count some, able to, Sanchi certainly had the big hit. So I think it's continuing encouraging how I think we've been playing and in all facets and finding ways to win games.
Any update on Stowers? We know he stayed in the game, but level of concern there?
At this point, no real level of concern. Got his funny bone, tough spot there where he got hit and was able to go run. And if he had felt like he couldn't throw or something, just then he would have said something, but anticipate that Stowie will be fine.
Ramirez now leads all National League rookies in RBI, just having him in the middle of the lineup pretty much all season long. How easy is that for you to do your job?
Yeah, I mean, having guys like Gus makes it much easier. He's very proud of Gus, how not only how he's performed, but also that when you start to put up numbers like he has, and you do, people take notice, like his ability to impact and drive in runs, how they, will change how they attack you and how you have to, the ability to adjust. And that was a, well struck ball he hit to left center today off of Cease. And I think that's what you can bank on Gus. He's very intelligent. He's got a good Rolodex of how he's able to file away how teams have pitched to him, how people are going to attack him. So I think you can bet on the continued improvement with Gus. I think he's just very, very intuitive of what's, being done to him.
A couple home runs for Sanchez on the homestand. He mentioned adjustments. What adjustments has he made at the plate?
They've done a nice job of this being Pedro and Show along with Sanchi. with his swing, getting his turn to be a little tighter. I think, seeing him elevate the balls to the pull side. Sanchi and he has this year too, historically hit the ball extremely hard, and being able to elevate to the pull side is when you start to see some of the power. And I think he got maybe a curveball or some secondary pitch today that he was able to stay through and elevate there. So I think Sanchi's at bat quality has been very solid, really for the entire season once he got back into the rhythm of things. And Sanchi swinging at the right pitches with his ability should yield results moving forward.
Clayton, with the deadline looming in a couple of, a week from now, how do you think the guys have handled the rumors around either Sandy or Cavi or the guys that have been mentioned recently in the media? Obviously, tough days for some, but how are you seeing the guys in the aspect?
Yeah, I feel like our guys haven't heard a whole lot about it. The guys have responded well. Certainly everybody knows what this time of year is. Look, it's going to be like this every single year. And so I think they've done a very good job of just coming out and continuing just to play. And look, there's always going to be noise, whether it's starting the season, whether it's the deadline, whatever that might be. And they're all professionals and understand that day we try to go out there and win a game.
All right, that was the Marlins manager, Clayton McCullough. Plenty of praise for Sandy Alcantara. And again, the final line on Sandy: 7 innings, 4 hit, 1 unearned run in the 3-2 win for the Fish over the Padres. Let's hear from Sandy after his start.
Sandy, season high, 7 innings pitched. What allowed you to be so efficient?
First, I want to say thanks God for keeping me healthy in the game and let me do my job. Feels great about it. Finally I went through 7 innings, so everything was working today. Sinker was great, changeup was good, slider, curve, everything was working today.
What was the biggest difference for you here today?
Maybe throwing from here, a couple pitches, and have a little bit some fun, out there, So just attack the hitter, doesn't matter the circumstance.
You said throwing from here.
Yeah, I throw a couple slider from over here, and it was working.
When did you decide to make that change?
I think I was thinking on doing like a couple months ago, and I wasn't able to do it. And today I decided to do it, and hopefully it was working, and I feel great about it.
I know you've always had confidence yourself. You always knew what you're capable of doing. We've seen it. How much more confidence does this give you that you can get back to that 2022 Sandy?
A lot of confidence, So going 7 strong inning out there, give the chance to my team to win. That was tremendous for me, and everyone feels happy about the job that I did today because they know I needed so much, and I feel so great about it.
Sandy, were you thinking at all today about how this could maybe be your last home start here?
I don't know that. So I just feel great being here at this organization, So what I know is I got to go in the role with the team, So if something happened, just happened, I just got to be able to compete, be able to work, and just let everything happen.
I'm curious because in the past you've mentioned how, people might be doubting you already, this and that. You had a song today, I Shazammed it or whatever. The lyrics said about people who doubt you, this and that, they never believed. Was that purposely put, the song that you took them out to?
Oh, yeah. So there is a lot of people that they don't believe in myself, But if I believe, I don't care what they say, So I just got to trust on God process, Just be out there. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what happens, Just be out there and fighting for my team.
How does it feel, though? This is the version we've seen probably off and on since 2019. How are you feeling mentally? How confident do you feel? What does it feel like?
I always feel confident, always feel strong, because I know the type of player I am. I like to work. I like to get better. It doesn't matter what people saying, So because in this sport, no one is perfect. So 1 year you can have your best season. So next 2 years, you worse and ever. So. But for me, I just got to keep my head up. It doesn't matter what happens. Just be out there, fight, and show the most inning that I can.
Sandy, what was the preparation like for you with this start? Because you had faced San Diego at the end of May and struggled, but obviously this is a different result. What do you think changed?
A lot of things changed, So last time when I first then in San Diego, I was throwing too many fastball. And today, changing and two-seam was working great today. And, just be consistent and strong for a strike. Don't let them have too many chances on my two-seam and changeup, and just have a little bit fun out there.
Sandy, you're one of the most accomplished pitchers in this franchise's history. If this is the last start at home as a member of the Marlins, how would you describe your years being with this team?
Like a player, like a player, just a guy who like to take advantage from the opportunity. I like a guy who like to compete. I like to learn and everything. So if they want to remember myself like a the caballo, I take it, So and I feel great about the opportunity that I have here.
It's fun from Sandy Alcantara. And Sandy, again, this was his best start of the year. He went 7 innings, no earned runs. There was 1 unearned run against him in a 3-2 win for the Fish. Sandy was the winning pitcher today. All right, we will step aside. We'll get one final break in, and then we'll say see ya here on the 10th Inning Show on the Marlins Radio Network.
Batter up, Homo. Baseball with runners in scoring position.
2-1 pitch, a line shot into right center. That is in for a base hit. X is going to come in to score and tie the game. Augustine chugging for second. Benson slid to his backhand to grab that ball in right center, but the throw into second base is late. An RBI double for Augustine Ramirez. He expands his National League rookie lead in runs driven in, and we're tied at 1 in the top of the 5th, and was at the top of the National League for the majority of the season. 2-1 pitch. That one ripped into right field. That is in for a base hit. Benson going to come up firing. They're sending Augustine. Throw coming home. 1 hop up the first base line. Augustine slides, and he managed to just squeak a foot in. Stevenson swiped the tag. Augustine slid feet first, and I think he swept that right foot around, and he tapped the plate.
65 strikes for Singer. Here's the 1-2 to Hill. Ground ball, third base side, runner going. Throw to the plate, high and over the head of Stevenson. And Wagaman scores. Now Hill will slide into second. That ball is thrown into the outfield. Hill will try to go to third. Oh my goodness. The Reds are throwing it all over the ballpark. Hill winds up at third base on a ground ball hit off the bat about 75 feet. Everybody in on the grass. Here's the pitch. Sanoa, high pop up, right field. It's shallow. Benson's got a good arm. Tagging is Hill. He's going to try it anyway. Here's the throw from Benson. A 1 bounce to the slide. He's in there. Derek Hill diving in despite a good throw from Benson. There's that speed from Hill, and it's 4-1 Miami. Count of 1-1 to Ramirez. This one he rips. Deep left field. And forget about it. Going, gone, goodbye. Into the upper level. And Augustine Ramirez with number 14. And he slowly trots around. That was well hit by Augustine Ramirez. It is now 5-1. That ball went 420 feet, and that might be light.
Well, the Fish are hitting the road. After a 3-2 win over the San Diego Padres, they secure the series win, and the season series ends at 3 games apiece. 3-2 the final score on Wednesday afternoon. Off day in Milwaukee for the Marlins tomorrow before getting going at 4:10 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Little Friday afternoon action. It'll be Cal Quantrill. He is 3-8 with a 5.24 ERA for the Marlins against one of the best pitchers in all of baseball this year. Freddie Peralta, the Milwaukee Ace, is 12-4 with a 2.85 ERA. Probable starters on the weekend: Quantrill and Peralta, followed by Junk and Quintana on Saturday, and then to be determined against Brandon Woodruff on Sunday. So that's your matchup on Friday. Huge thank you to Ahmed Jordan in studio. For Steven Strom, for Jeff Nelson, I'm Jack McMullen saying so long from Lone Depot Park. Final score: the Marlins 3, the Padres 2. This has been the 10th Inning Show and a presentation of Miami Marlins baseball on the Marlins Radio Network.
Number 1 on your car radio preset hand.